quick hero's rant. Notice I still have lots of behind me and some stuff in front of me. But I just felt the need to actually just to talk a little bit. Recently, in like the past year or so, 2 years, 2 3 years, Lord have mercy, it seems like it's keep moving. Um, I've been through a lot of different things, a lot of different things that which we all have. We all have experienced things dealing with the pandemic, dealing with illnesses, dealing with losses. And I've dealt with loss as well. I dealt with loss, but in the midst of loss, I realized that I can't lose. What do I mean by I can't lose? I mean that it's in my best benefit to keep moving. In the midst of all the things that I was experiencing, the death of my mother, some issues in the household, and I did have a little bout. I had a hernia, had to cut my gut open. Sure did. That is last couple years or so. And I did not know the experience of getting your gouged in your stomach, so to speak. And now my wife actually got a hernia procedure, and hers was breezy. I mean, 2 3 days she was driving, right? I'm thinking I have the same consequence, the same uh, experience, and I think she was as well because there's a lack of empathy on her part. Like it can't be that serious, right? Oh yeah, it was. They cut that gut open, and when they finished with me, I mean, it swole a little bit. It swole, but I can my core I was in pain walking inch by inch. Was a yard by yard, like Al Pacino would say. But it was like I felt my core and felt how unstructured my core was, or the point is they got to the muscle and they had to cut my muscle in order to fix the hole. And sometimes in life you have to cut the muscle, cause a little pain, and very jarring pain that won't paralyze you. However, but the steps that you take to get more mobility is a thing that causes tremendous pain. But even in that pain, you're not meant to stop. Why? Because the movement in the pain means that you can move and the blood is flowing. If the blood is flowing, there's life. There's life in every movement. There's life in every scar. But the more you move, the more you infuse oxygen and life into the muscles. I would say the same thing goes with life. The more you move, the more you infuse more life and momentum into this thing we call life. And more importantly, into this thing we call purpose. If you refuse to move, then you will never fulfill your purpose. Now, there will be times in life that you won't be able to move as swiftly, as, as mobile as you would have in the early part of life. But as long as you're still living, you still can move. I can't tell you if there was a time prior that I felt as if I need to be still. But I feel that if you stay still, you stay stuck in the moment of the past. But if you move, you're moving towards your destiny in your present. So my goal was to keep moving. And probably I think God was telling us, listen, don't stop moving. I know things may seem bad. It may look dark right now, but don't stop moving. He said you can't run as fast as you could in the midst of all the weight on your shoulders, but don't stop moving. I know the water may seem like it's too high and you're about to drown, but don't stop moving. I know the rain is pouring down and you can barely see your way, but don't stop moving. I know it's too much snow on the ground and you can barely move through the obstacles, but don't stop moving. Whomever is listening to this, listening or looking at this current time, my call to everyone is don't stop moving. As I've been through spots before and I had to look up because there's no other place to look. In the midst of adversity, and sometimes you may be the only one as your champion. You may be your only champion. You and God alone. Just like King David was in the midst of Ziklag, where him and his boys the closest to him, and it was like, those are the ones that did the campaigns where he was in the caves, where he ran from Saul with, they had his back. But when somebody took something of theirs that they held close, when they came back to Ziklag and they saw that their families was gone and the house was burnt up, then they got in tremendous depression. And I believe that depression is nothing but anger internalized. But they want to exert that depression into anger upon the one they call friend, upon the one they call brother, upon the one they call family. They wanted to administer some of that depression in the outward formation in anger. They picked up stones and they was about to stone the man that we call the man after God's own heart. They were trying to stone David. Well, as they picked up the stone, he dug deep down. And the Bible says he had to encourage himself. He encouraged himself. He didn't go from the outside, he came from the inside. He dug down inside the connection of his soul that had with God. His communion was with God, not with man. Because man is fickle. But God is consistent. So he dug down inside. He encouraged himself. They say in the Lord. He asked for the ephod. And he said, should we attack? Should we go and take back what was ours? And the word of the Lord came and said, you'll go and you'll recover. But when he encouraged himself, they saw something on him. And then what came out of him became paralyzing to them because they knew that was beyond them. And it was all about God. Sometimes in life, you have to encourage yourself in the midst of people that said they're your friends, said that they're your family. But if God before you, right? Who can be against you? And with that being said, you need to know who you are and whose you are. The hero's journey with Dr. D. Remember this. Every day you get a vertical, make it your golden life to always move forward. And never, ever look back. Why? Life is just too short to live looking in the rearview mirror. Because you are important. God knows that you are important. God knows that you're important. Peace and blessings. It's the hero's journey with Dr. D. Remember, keep moving. We out.